Cape Canaveral, Florida, NASA is sending a spacecraft straight into the sun's glittering crown, an atmospheric region so hot and harsh any normal visitor would wither. Set to launch early Saturday, the Park Solar Probe is as heat-resistant as a spacecraft gets, essential for exploring our star closer than ever before. This image made available by NASA shows an artist's rendering of the Park Solar Probe approaching the sun. It's designed to take solar punishment like never before, thanks to its revolutionary heat shield that's capable of withstanding 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit, 1,370 degrees Celsius. Set to launch early Saturday, the Park Solar Probe is as heat-resistant as a spacecraft gets, essential for exploring our star closer than ever before. Steve Gribbin, Johns Hopkins APL, NASA, via the Associated Press, the U.S. Got a glimpse of the sun's glowing, spiky crown, or corona, during last August's coast-to-coast total solar eclipse. Well, Park Solar Probe's going to be in there, said project scientist Nicola Fox of Johns Hopkins University. Here's why the Park spacecraft is so tough and why scientists are so hot for this first-of-its-kind mission. Superhero-worthy shield. The article continued below. Parker's lightweight heat shield is just 4.5 inches, 11 centimeters, thick. But it can withstand 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit, 1,370 degrees Celsius, as well as extreme radiation, thanks to its high-tech carbon. Although the corona reaches millions of degrees, it's a wispy, tenuous environment, and so the spacecraft won't need to endure such severe temperatures. The 8-foot (2.4-meter) shield will face the sun during the close solar encounters, shading the science instruments in the back and keeping them humming at a cool 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Celsius. As one scientist notes, this is a shield Captain America would envy. Read more. NASA launching first spacecraft to touch the sun. In T-3 days, NASA names astronauts for first American flight to International Space Station since 2011. Scientists say they've discovered huge lake of salty water buried deep in Mars. 7 years in hot pursuit. The spacecraft's path to the sun runs past Venus. It will fly by our solar system's hottest planet 7 times over 7 years, using the gravity of Venus to shrink its own oval orbit and draw increasingly closer to the sun. The first Venus flyby is in October, followed by the first dip into the sun's corona in November. There will be 24 orbits between Venus and the sun, with the final 3 putting Parker closest to the sun, just 3.8 million miles, 6 million kilometers, out, in 2024 and 2025. That's a scant 4% of the 93 million miles, 150 million kilometers, between Earth and the sun. Article continued below. Breaking records. The records will start falling as soon as Parker takes its first run past the sun. The current close to the sun champ, NASA's former Helios 2, got within 27 million miles, 43 million kilometers, in 1976. Parker will come within 15.5 million miles, 25 million kilometers, in November and then start beating its own record. During its closest solar approaches, the spacecraft will hurtle through the corona at 430,000 miles per hour, 690 kilometers per hour, setting a speed record. Solar science. Our yellow dwarf star is, in many ways, a mystery. The outreaching corona is hundreds of times hotter than the sun's actual surface, confounding scientists. In addition, physicists don't know what's driving the solar wind, the supersonic stream of charged particles constantly blasting away from the sun. By being right in the thick of it, Parker should provide some answers, shedding light not only on our star but the billions of others out there. Parker, the man. 60 years ago, a young astrophysicist at the University of Chicago, Eugene Parker, proposed the existence of solar wind. Many were skeptical and told him to read up on it first, so you don't make these killer mistakes, he recalls. Vindication came with NASA's Mariner 2 spacecraft in 1962. Parker is now 91 years old and at Cape Canaveral with his family to witness his first launch, a Delta IV Heavy rocket with the spacecraft bearing his name. It's the first time NASA has named a spacecraft after someone who's still alive. In an interview with the Associated Press on Thursday, Parker noted from a publicity standpoint, it absolutely wipes out everything else in his career. At my age, it gets fatiguing. But of course, I enjoy it.